If you've ever felt guilty because your child is just playing instead of learning, I need you to listen very carefully for the next 30 seconds, because what I'm about to tell you might completely change how you see your child's development. Play is not a distraction from learning. It is not wasted time. It is not something to squeeze in after the important stuff is done. Play is one of the most powerful tools the brain has to grow, organize, and wire itself. And when we replace it with screens, worksheets, or pressure to perform, we are not helping our children get ahead. We are quietly taking away one of their greatest neurological advantages. Most adults think learning happens through instruction, through teaching, through repetition. But the child's brain does not develop the same way an adult brain does. A young brain grows through experience, movement, imagination, and exploration. And play is the environment where all of that happens at once. Every time your child stacks blocks, chases a ball, pretends to cook, builds a fort, or invents a story, their brain is doing something extraordinary. Millions of neurons are firing and wiring together. These connections, called neural pathways, are being strengthened and refined. This is how the brain becomes faster, more flexible, and more efficient. This is how thinking is built. The more varied and open-ended the play, the richer these connections become. When a child builds, they strengthen spatial reasoning. When they pretend, they activate multiple regions of the brain at the same time. When they problem-solve through play, they are laying the groundwork for logic, planning, and critical thinking. These early connections are not random. They become the foundation for reading, math, emotional regulation, and learning later in life. Play is not separate from brain development. Play is brain development. This is why children who are given time to play freely often show stronger attention, better emotional control, and greater creativity as they grow. Their brains have been allowed to practice being brains. And here's something many parents don't realize. The brain does not grow best when it's pressured. It grows best when it's curious. Curiosity opens the brain. Fear closes it. Joy expands it. Stress contracts it. Play naturally creates the emotional conditions the brain needs to thrive. When children play, they are not just moving their bodies. They are testing ideas. They are experimenting with cause and effect. They are learning how the world responds to them. They are discovering what they can do. And every one of those experiences is shaping the architecture of their brain. This is especially important in the early years when the brain is growing at its fastest rate. During early childhood, the brain forms millions of new connections every second. And those connections are shaped by what the child does repeatedly. When play is rich, varied, and meaningful, the brain grows in healthy, integrated ways. When play is replaced by passive input, the brain misses critical opportunities. This is not about being anti-learning. It is about understanding how learning actually works in the developing brain. A worksheet cannot replace imaginative play. An app cannot replace physical exploration. A flashcard cannot replace a story your child creates themselves. Play integrates thinking, emotion, movement, and relationship all at once. And that is exactly how the brain is designed to learn. Before we go any further, if this is already shifting how you see play, take a second to like this video and leave a comment telling me how old your child is. And if you want deeper tools, real guidance, and early access to upcoming content, this channel also has a membership with 2 levels that unlock exclusive and preview materials for parents who want to go beyond surface advice. Make sure you're subscribed to the Parenting Blueprint so you don't miss what's coming next. Because when your child is playing, they are not just playing. They are building a brain, and that is serious work. One of the most powerful ways play shapes a child's brain is through emotional development. Children do not learn emotions from lectures. They learn them through experience, through trial and error, through feeling big things in small bodies. Play is where those emotional experiences can happen safely. When a child plays, they feel excitement, frustration, pride, disappointment, and joy, often all within the same few minutes. And every one of those emotions is teaching the brain something important. When a tower falls and a child tries again, the brain is practicing resilience. When a game doesn't go their way and they stay engaged, the brain is practicing regulation. When a child pretends to be a parent, a teacher, or a superhero, they are rehearsing emotional roles. They are exploring what it feels like to be powerful, kind, scared, brave, or in charge. This is not random. This is the brain learning how to be human. Pretend play is especially powerful because it activates both the emotional centers of the brain and the reasoning centers at the same time. When a child creates a story, assigns roles, and acts out scenarios, they are integrating emotion with logic. That integration is the foundation of emotional intelligence. It is what allows a child, later in life, to feel without being overwhelmed and to think without being disconnected. Play is also one of the main ways children learn empathy. When children play with others, they have to read cues, respond to reactions, and adjust their behavior. They learn that their actions affect others. They learn what it feels like to be included and excluded. They learn how to repair after conflict. All of these experiences wire the brain for social understanding. You cannot teach empathy with rules. You build it through relationship. And play is relationship in action. Even when children play alone, their brain is processing experience. A child who replays a doctor visit, a family interaction, or a stressful moment in their play is not wasting time. They are making sense of it. The brain is organizing memory and emotion. This is how children integrate what they have lived. This is how the nervous system settles. Another critical area play develops is executive function. These are the skills that allow a child to focus, remember instructions, plan, and control impulses. And play is one of the best training grounds for these abilities. When a child builds a fort, they have to hold a plan in mind. When they play a game with rules, they have to remember them. When they pretend, they have to stay in role. All of this strengthens the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for self-control and decision-making. The key difference is that play does this without pressure. There is no performance, no evaluation, no fear of being wrong. The brain learns best in this state. It stays open, it experiments, it adapts, it grows. This is why children can focus for long periods during play, but struggle in rigid learning environments. Their brain is engaged, not threatened. Play also builds attention in a way nothing else can. Not forced attention, not compliance, real, sustained focus. When a child is deeply engaged in play, they are practicing concentration. They are learning how to stay with something. This skill does not come from being told to pay attention. It comes from wanting to. And that matters because the brain wires what it does repeatedly. A child who practices focus through joy builds a different neural pathway than a child who practices focus through pressure. One creates curiosity. The other creates avoidance. This is why limiting play in favor of more academic activities often backfires. You might see short-term compliance, but you lose long-term engagement. The brain becomes efficient at meeting expectations, not at thinking. Play also strengthens problem-solving in ways structured tasks cannot. When a child encounters a challenge in play, they try something. It fails. They try again. They adapt. They experiment. This trial and error process is how the brain learns flexibility. It is how creativity is born. It is how innovation begins. And perhaps most importantly, play gives children ownership of their learning. They are not being led, they are leading. This sense of agency is deeply motivating. It teaches the brain, I can figure things out. That belief becomes confidence. So when your child is on the floor, immersed in play, they are not off task. They are on the most important task their brain has. They are learning how to be. In today's fast, screen-filled world, play is often the first thing to be reduced. We shorten it to fit schedules. We replace it with apps. We train it for structured activities. And we do this believing we are helping our children get ahead. But from a brain perspective, the opposite is often true. When play disappears, critical parts of development weaken. The brain loses its natural training ground. Play is where the brain integrates everything it has learned. It is where emotions, movement, memory, and imagination come together. Without play, learning stays fragmented. With play, learning becomes connected. This is why children can memorize information and still struggle to use it. The brain needs play to make meaning. Another powerful way play shapes the brain is through language. During play, children talk, narrate, negotiate, and experiment with words. They describe what they are doing, ask questions, and respond to others. This activates multiple language centers at once. Vocabulary expands, sentence structure improves, comprehension deepens, and because it is happening in a meaningful context, the brain retains it. Pretend play is especially rich for language development. When a child invents characters, creates dialogue, and builds stories, they are practicing sequencing, perspective, and expression. They are learning how language works, not just what words mean. This builds a strong foundation for reading and writing later on. The brain learns language best when it is social, emotional, and relevant. Play naturally provides all three. Play also fuels creativity in a way nothing else can. Creativity is not about talent. It is about flexibility. It is about seeing possibilities. It is about imagining alternatives. When a child turns a box into a spaceship or a stick into a sword, they are engaging higher-level brain processes. They are practicing symbolic thinking. They are learning that objects and ideas can be transformed. This strengthens the brain's ability to innovate. And creativity is not just for art. It is essential for problem-solving, adaptability, and resilience. A creative brain can find options. A rigid brain gets stuck. Play keeps the brain flexible. Another often overlooked benefit of play is how it builds confidence. When children choose what to play, how to play, and how long to stay engaged, they experience autonomy. Autonomy tells the brain, I am capable. That belief becomes motivation. Motivation fuels learning. This is why children learn more deeply when they feel ownership. Play gives them that ownership. Play also supports physical brain development. Movement during play strengthens the connection between the body and the brain. Crawling, climbing, running, balancing, and manipulating objects all build neural pathways that support coordination, attention, and even reading later on. The brain is a body-based organ. It grows through movement. And perhaps most importantly, play builds joy. And joy is not extra. Joy is fuel. A joyful brain is an open brain. An open brain learns faster, remembers more, and adapts better. When learning is associated with pleasure, the brain seeks it. When learning is associated with pressure, the brain avoids it. Play teaches the brain that learning feels good. This is why play is not a luxury. It is a biological necessity. It is not something to earn. It is something to protect. When you protect your child's play, you are protecting their development. So the next time you see your child lost in play, resist the urge to interrupt. Resist the urge to redirect. Resist the urge to optimize. What you are watching is not wasted time. You are watching neurons connect. You are watching emotional circuits strengthen. You are watching the architecture of a mind being built. Because play is not what children do when learning stops. Play is how learning begins.